Okay, Coach Bryce, when I'm doing this exercise, how important is it where I put my feet and like to start? Like if I want to start, do I put my feet close? Do I put them really wide? What would you say is the best way to do this?
Great question. So it definitely depends on the person and on personal preference and comfort. However, a really good sort of general rule of thumb is to have the feet about shoulder width apart.
Okay.
Many people find that they're more comfortable on a box squat when they go a little bit wider than that, because what we're really trying to emphasize is sitting the hips back and down to the box. Is it okay to have a more narrow stance and have your knees track further forward? Yes, absolutely. But this really allows us to use the box as a target to better engage our hips and glutes.
So in a normal barbell back squat, you can kind of squat. You can squat back and kind of forward, or you can just kind of start going down. This you want me to sit back, is that correct?
That's right, yep. Sometimes when we squat, we want to be moving a little bit more through the knees, sometimes a little bit more through the hips, and this is one of those hip variations.
So I'm sitting back.
Yep, keeping your weight through your heels.
What kind of cues do you give as you're doing this? So you sit back, you want to push your butt back.
Yep.
What else?
Sometimes I like to use the cue spread the floor or tear a piece of paper apart with your feet, because we can see that's this very strong foundation, keeping our joints stacked as opposed to the knees wanting to collapse in, which just isn't a very strong or stable
So
position.
instead of like this, we want to spread, sit back, and keep sitting back until, what, do I want to just drop and hit the box, or do I want to keep doing this until I touch the box?
We want to sit all the way down until you touch the box, and then there's a brief pause. Sometimes it's okay to touch and go, but that's a squat to box. That's a separate exercise. Here we have a slight pause, so we have to maintain bracing, and this sort of separates the descent or the eccentric portion of the movement from the ascent or the concentric portion of the movement where we're coming up. So then a slight pause here, and notice Dr. Spencer rocked backwards just a little bit. That's okay, as long as the bar doesn't track back behind the hips. So this is a great position here, right? That's too far. And then from here, driving through the floor to come back up to a standing position after a brief pause. Great.
So one other thing is, so you could just touch it and go, but that's not this exercise. We're saying to sit back, pause after you sit. Don't just completely relax.
Exactly.
Stay braced, but you can sit back just slightly, brace, sit, and you rock forward. Is that correct?
You will wind up rocking forward a little bit. That's unavoidable.
Yeah. To get out of a chair, you have to rock forward.
Exactly. We have to have that forward trunk lean in order to initiate the movement. And as long as it's controlled and we're not losing spinal position or really collapsing and staying stiff, that's a good thing to be doing. And box squats really allow us to continue to groove that position, because just about anybody knows how to move forward through their knees. But if we can get that hip and knee movement in concert, that's when we have a really good and strong squat.
The other reason I like these box squats is because if somebody's having knee trouble, this can be something that completely removes that pain. It's just a different type of pattern. I've had knee issues before where I couldn't do regular barbell, just regular squats without the box, and then I started doing box squats and then couldn't go back to the regular barbell back squats.
Absolutely, yeah. When people have knee pain when they're squatting, a lot of times it's common for it to be at the bottom. So this allows us to reduce some of that load and stress on the knees. It's easier to recover from and to squat more frequently. Overall, a great exercise that we'll use all the time.